Good morning. It is Monday, June 17th. Here's what we're working on. A heat warning has been issued for many parts of Ontario this week.
A Second World War veteran and dear friend of our show has passed away at the age of 100.
And Pixar's Inside Out 2 shatters box office expectations. Hello, friends.
Hey!
Yes.
Was there a, Brian, did you say like a little English accent? In some of those
I know there's
there?
not.
A little something, yes.
Was there a little something? You picked up a little accent across the pond?
I don't think so.
That's what happens when you have tea with Charles and Camilla, you know?
Do you know what? I just missed them on Saturday because they had the Trooping of the Colours on Saturday, and we didn't know. We were about an hour south of London, and I got back and I was like, how did I miss that?
Good time.
Awesome time.
Thanks for the where you're watching on Friday.
Oh, thank you. We raced to Kensington Palace. I'm like, okay, it's almost 7 o'clock now. Their time, and it's like I got to get this sent in.
Oh, fabulous! What was the weather doing over there?
It was cool.
Was it?
It was like the high was about 14 degrees.
Wow!
Okay.
I had a jacket on the whole time.
Well, Brian, we got a week.
Yes, we certainly do, don't we? I mean, you talk 14. That's where we are right now. It's 14 degrees, and it's a gorgeous start to the day here. The sun is up, and we will see some sun. However, heat and humidity. Heat warning in effect, not only from Environment Canada, but from the Hamilton Medical Officer of Health issued a heat warning because the temperatures today are, this week actually, all of this week, are going to be in the 30s with humidex values between 40 and 45. So the heat is going to start to build in for the day today. We're forecasting a high of 32 for today. Humidex of about 40, so it's going to be a sticky one today. And with that stickiness, we could get a pop-up shower or thunderstorm as the afternoon goes on, and that could linger overnight tonight. It's going to stay warm overnight. One of the reasons that we have heat warnings issued is because you don't get that relief at night. The temperature stays around in the early 20s, and you have humidex values in the high 20s for even the overnight hours. Tomorrow will be even hotter, and we'll talk about that coming up. All right, quick check on traffic. 403 Waterdown Road. Looks good. Nothing going on right there. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. We did have a vehicle fire right there. It's up in the distance, heading away from us. As you can see, there are vehicles still off to the side. Vehicle fire was around 4 o'clock this morning, so this is just the remnants right now, but no traffic right there. Here's some traffic already coming off the Skyway Bridge going past North Shore Boulevard. Cue the birds. They're always wanting to hog the camera. And QEW east of Appleby looks good. So no real problems at the moment. We'll look at the forecast in detail for you, how hot it's going to be this week, and of course traffic coming up right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. Well, the OPP have shut down 6 Indigenous smoke storefronts in Hamilton, St. Catharines, Fort Erie, and Welland. They seized nearly $1 million in cannabis and tobacco products. Now, it happened earlier this month, but the results have just been released. Police also seized 3 handguns, shotgun ammunition, and cocaine during 9 search warrants. 11 people face more than 30 charges. Despite the legalization of some cannabis products in Ontario 6 years ago, police say cannabis is still a lucrative commodity for criminal networks.
A CHCH News freelancer says a train struck a female pedestrian in Niagara Falls. The freelancer said it happened in the area of Victoria Avenue around 6:30 last night. Emergency crews and police were at the scene and found a conscious female. And we've reached out to Niagara Police about this situation and have not heard back as of yet.
Hamilton police are investigating a man's death as a homicide after officers were called to a home near Main and Gage over the weekend.
The Hamilton police were called to 100 Connaught Avenue South for an unknown 911 call. Once we attended the scene, we located an apartment within the building that had a deceased male, approximately 35 to 40 years of age. As a result of the situation we found on the scene, our homicide unit has now been called in to take charge of this investigation. It's still very early in the investigation, so it's hard to say what has occurred. And we still have not actually fully briefed all the next of kin family members, so we won't be releasing any other information about the incident at this time or the identity of the male.
Now, the cause of the man's death remains unknown. No suspect descriptions have been released. Hamilton police are expected to provide an update a little bit later today.
Hamilton Downtown Mosque issued a statement saying that a man made racist and threatening statements after entering the hall back on Friday. Now, according to the statement, the incident had happened while students were in gym class. The man allegedly ripped a copy of the Quran in half when asked to leave. They say the incident has terrorized students and staff. Police say this is an ongoing investigation and they are working with the mosque to determine what happened. No charges have been laid at this point.
In Burlington, police are asking the public if they recognize this rider or bike. Halton Police posted these photos on X saying the rider went through the Sound of Music Festival around 2:20 yesterday afternoon. Police say they want to talk to that rider. They're trying to stop dangerous driving and street racing.
I have some sad news to pass along this morning. A Second World War veteran and a dear friend of our show, George Stewart, has passed away yesterday morning. During his tour, Stewart, he flew 50 operations in a plane known as Mosquito with the number 23 Squadron between July and November 1944. He's become a very familiar face of the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum and on our channel over the years as a part of our special Remembrance Day ceremonies. Back in January, Stewart celebrated his 100th birthday at the museum, surrounded by family and friends. Recently, he suffered a spinal injury as a result of a fall back in February and was confined to a bed and wheelchair ever since. But his son, Peter, said that he maintained a great mental attitude and continued to tell his tales of the Second World War to anybody that would listen. We always love to listen because, man, could he tell some great tales. Oh, George, you're going to be greatly missed. Thank you for your service, all that you have done. George Stewart was 100 years old.
What a life. Well, today is going to be a hot one. Many parts of southern Ontario are in for a heat warning that's expected to last all week long. Simone Gavros is cooling off a bit, although it's not quite hot yet at Hamilton's waterfront.
Hi, good morning, Annette. No, you're right. Right now, it's a little bit cooler outside. And I already saw one person taking advantage of these cooler temperatures before the heat just skyrockets. We're going to see some dangerously hot temperatures all week long, starting today. Now, temperatures are expected to reach the mid-30s, but they could feel as high as 45 degrees when that humidity sets in. Now, senior meteorologist David Phillips said that this might be the first heat wave that we're seeing this year, but it won't be the last.
Not only are we going to see temperatures that are going to be well above normal, maybe 6, 8, 7, 9 degrees warmer than they would normally be for this time of the year, but also it's the first one. And we always find that when you have the first heat wave is the most unhealthy. People are just not used to it. They're not acclimatized to it. They haven't found out where their linens are. They haven't learned how to make the kind of favorite drinks that they cool off with. Their air conditioner may not be serviced. Their fan is not greased up. So people are just kind of procrastinators. We don't necessarily do anything about the season until it's upon us.
Now, the heat wave will span across most of the province this week, across the GTHA and up into northern Ontario. Now, senior climatologist David Phillips describes this prolonged heat phenomenon as a heat dome where hot air gets trapped in the atmosphere. The high heat has prompted the city of Hamilton to issue a heat warning of their own. Heat like this can affect everyone's health, but poses a greater health risk to children, older adults, and those working outside. Now, if you are looking to beat the heat today, be sure you're staying hydrated, wearing light clothing, and limiting any outdoor physical activity during the day. There are also a number of cooling places to choose from that are open across the city. Now, this morning, we're going to be speaking to people here at Hamilton's waterfront to get more on how they're planning to stay cool during these scorching hot temperatures we're going to be seeing all week long. But for now, Tim, I'll send things over to you.
All right, thanks so much, Simone. A wildfire that forced the evacuation of a remote town in the Northwest Territories has now reached the community. Local fire crews say the blaze threatening Fort Good Hope grew from 2 square kilometers on Saturday to an estimated 9 square kilometers yesterday. But officials say there have been no reports of burnt structures as of yet. The territory says that the fire is human caused and started just under 4 kilometers northeast of the community.
More help is on the way for Calgary's water repairs. On X, the city posted this photo of a piece of feeder main pipe being sent from California. On it, San Diego County's water authority spray painted "Good Luck Calgary." San Diego is just one utility helping Calgary with a huge repair job. A water feeder main break earlier this month cut the Alberta city off from 60% of its drinking water. Crews have now shifted from the primary breach to fixing newly discovered sections of damaged pipe. People in Calgary have heeded the call to drastically reduce their water consumption. The city expects 3 to 5 more weeks of repairs are needed.
Okay, let's get to it. We haven't mentioned this yet, but yeah, Ticats home opener last night. Bit of a heartbreaker down at Tim Hortons Field. Cats led by 13 at halftime, 10 heading into the fourth over Saskatchewan, only to allow the Riders to come back and have a chance to steal the win.
The clock has run down to 0. Final play. He makes it. They win. He made it. Saskatchewan wins.
Oh, this is a tough one. The Riders would outscore the Ticats 16-3 in the fourth quarter and win it on that Brett Lothar 43-yard field goal to take it 33-30. Worst part was after the Riders tied it with under a minute left. Hamilton had a chance to drive for the win, but Bo Mitchell's pass dropped by Tim Wright right into the hands of the Riders defender, which set up the winning score. It's White's second drop of the night. They had one earlier in the game in the end zone. Not a good start to the season for number 42. Ticats, they fall to 0-2 on the year and will try and right the ship when they travel to Regina this Sunday to get some retribution.
2-0 the count on of our show. And Dalton gets one high in the air to deep right. And it is gone!
To the Dome, where I was in the building along with the family on Father's Day. The Jays finally got a win when I was there, thanks to that big swat by Dalton Varsho, who hit his second grand slam of the year. That was all me. All part of a 5-run fifth inning. Jays went up 7-2 with the Cleveland Guardians, and despite things getting a little tight in the ninth, and Jimmy Garcia going down with a sore elbow, they would take it 7-6. They take the series back to a game below 500. They try and get there tonight when the Red Sox arrive at the Dome. Yeah, he's a little excited. Third golf major of the year. Bryce DeChambeau would knock down that par putt in the 72nd hole to win his second U.S. Open in dramatic fashion at Pioneers number 2 after Rory McIlroy missed 2 short putts down the stretch. The Irish missed a 3-footer on 16 while holding a 1-shot lead, and then missed a short one again on 18, which allowed DeChambeau to win. Rory. Top Canadian Corey Connors, who finished 9th, he leapfrogged over Adam Hadwin into 38th spot in the world, which is good enough for him, and Nick Taylor to represent Canada at the Olympics in Paris. Yeah. Let's go to the Euro Cup, where one of the tournament favorites from England got their first group win yesterday. Jude Bellingham's header in the 13th minute. That was the difference as the Three Lions beat Serbia 1-0 to sit atop Group C with the win. Denmark and Slovenia, they drew 1-1 also in Group C. Denmark will play England on Thursday. Netherlands beat Poland 2-1 in the other match Sunday. 3 more today. Romania and Ukraine this morning. Belgium and Slovakia at noon. And then second-ranked France up against Austria at 3. And just in case you missed it on Saturday, the Edmonton Oilers' huge win on home ice to avoid getting swept by Florida and have them lift the Stanley Cup on their home ice. Connor McDavid, big game, 4 points, first goal in the Cup final, dominating 8-1 win. So series back to Florida for Game 5 tomorrow. Game 5 of the NBA Finals, that goes tonight with Boston. They have a chance to win it. They lead Dallas 3-1.
Okay, coming up on 6:14 on this Monday morning, 17th of June. It's getting a little bit warmer this morning. Our temperature moving up, but we'll talk about that in a second. Traffic is moving nicely. 403 Waterdown Road, that's our first exclusive camera. Doing okay right now. We have a bit of sunshine already. To our MTO traffic cameras into St. Catharines. Of course, the construction continues on the ramp to the 405 from the Fort Erie bound, QEW. You can see that left lane is blocked. Still the vehicles off to the side. This is a cleanup from a vehicle fire in the distance there. It's Niagara bound, but it's, the volume is so light it's not impeding any traffic there at all. 403 Junction around Brant Street looks good. Same with east of Royal Windsor all the way through Etobicoke Creek. Okay, temperature is moving up a little bit already starting. We were 14 last hour, sitting at 15 this hour. Winds are light, relative humidity 99%, right up there, but at least we have some sun. It is a partly cloudy sky right now, and look out for the heat building in. The heat warning just about for all of southern Ontario, including the Horseshoe. It's going to be a prolonged heat event. It looks like it's going to be right straight through the week. Highs 30 to 35, humidex values 40 to 45, and the overnight lows, you don't get any relief because the temperature stays in the 20s. So 32 today, humidex of 40, a bit of instability, chance of a shower or a thunderstorm later in the day today. We have that southerly flow. And that's what's helped to pull in the heat and humidity, and that's going to stay with us for, well, as I said, throughout the week. We'll get a bit of sun, but that humidity, that instability in the atmosphere could give us that shower thunderstorm scenario for today, tonight, and tomorrow. Look at the temperatures today, 31 to 32 degrees, as I said. Humidex values about 40, with that instability building in as the afternoon goes on, and it stays unsettled tonight. Temperature only falls to 21 all the way around the Horseshoe. Humidex values is going to sit around 26 to 27 degrees, so a sticky night. And then tomorrow, even hotter, 32, 33 degrees. Humidex values around 42, 43 is what it will feel like. Some sun, but again, chance of a shower thunderstorm as the day progresses. So out the door, 17th of June, it is partly cloudy. Winds are fairly light. Temperature right now, 15. Long range coming up. Annette, Tim. Yay.
Okay. Whoa. And Louis? Hey. What are you doing here? But welcome.
Good morning. I'm still finding my bearings this morning. It's quite early, guys. I didn't know that.
See, for me, it's quite late because it's like I'm thinking it's almost noon right now.
Okay.
I'm 5 hours ahead.
Lunchtime.
Just getting those yawns out of the way. So I'm ready to go, though.
Okay.
Yes, I'm in for Emily.
All week.
Today. All week?
And
Yeah, kind of.
And you're coming with us to Deerhurst later this week.
I pulled the short straw, yes, so I am stuck coming to Deerhurst.
Starting off strong there, Lou.
We're not staying with him, right?
Coming up, I'm actually heading up a little early because I'm going to be doing all the cool things, showcasing all the cool things Deerhurst has to offer.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah,
But,
quick reminder, though, I just want to say, if anybody doesn't know, we're going live from Deerhurst on Friday.
Yes.
We're all heading there, so it's going to be fun. Yeah,
looking forward to that. But coming up in Chit Chat, big box office weekend for Inside Out 2, and I'll tell you about that coming up.
Okay.
Cool. We'll see you in a bit.
Okay, coming up after the break, how and why the LCBO is planning for a possible strike. Coming up on to 6:20 on your Monday morning. In overseas trading, the Canadian dollar is up 6 basis points at $72.78 cents US. That would be a big gain. Yes. Gold lost over $12. Crude oil was up a quarter, trading at $78.70 a barrel. In midday trading in Europe, markets are down right now in London, but up in Frankfurt and Paris.
Okay, off to Asia we go. Markets selling this Monday down across the board in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. What about North American markets? They wrapped up the trading week last week with some losses for the TSX and Dow Jones. Nothing too substantial. Slight gains for the NASDAQ. Let's see how they do when the markets open on this Monday, June the 17th.
The LCBO is bracing for a possible strike. More than 10,000 workers at Ontario's main liquor retailer have voted 97% in favor of a strike mandate. The vote comes shortly after Premier Doug Ford announced plans to speed up a plan to have alcohol sold in convenience stores. It's a plan the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, OPSEU, says threatens jobs. The LCBO says it has a plan to keep serving customers in the event of a work stoppage if it can't reach a deal with OPSEU. Union members have been without a contract since March.
Now, on the other hand, a strike by WestJet Encore pilots, that has been averted. The Airline Pilots Association says its members have ratified a 5-year contract that offers higher pay, more flexible schedules, along with, quote, a better work-life balance. The union says the vast majority of WestJet Encore's roughly 350 pilots took part in the vote, with nearly 80% of them approving the collective agreement. The contract goes into effect immediately with retroactive pay to January 1st.
Taking a quick break right now, Brian is back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast.
We'll just briefly start with this camera, 624. Good morning, it's Monday. We're looking at off to the side there, heading away from us. We had a vehicle fire. It's just the cleanup now. No lanes are blocked at the moment, just off to the side, but you can see the other side's getting pretty busy. Let's go back into St. Catharines, QEW 406, nothing there. Slow as you come off the Skyway, as you go past North Shore Boulevard. East of Appleby looks good. No problems at Sheridan. 403 at Burnhamthorpe, it's doing fine. Temperatures starting to get a little bit milder this morning. We're all these temperatures are above seasonal. So 15 degrees Hamilton, Toronto, 17 Mississauga, 18 already into Grimsby. I mentioned seasonal. Seasonal overnight low is now 13. Seasonal daytime high 24. Those are our sun times and records for today. And yeah, we could get some instability for the day today. And for school today, it should be 23 by the first bell with some sun, some cloudy periods. And then after school, there's that chance of a shower or a thunderstorm. But 32. Feeling like 40 degrees for the day today, so the heat builds in. We have a heat warning in effect, and that's going to continue for the week. Look at all 5 days, all the way through Friday in this area. 32 today, 21 tonight, 33 tomorrow, humidex of 42. Again, a slimmer chance of some instability in the afternoon. And then 31, 31, and 31 Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as we get into summer on Thursday. And then the weekend comes down a little bit and we get a chance of a shower into Saturday. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Let's get back to traffic for a second, but it's kind of like an unusual traffic situation as we go to Northern California.
Wine country police in the city of Sebastopol, not very far from Santa Rosa, were led on a wild chase by, I don't know if we can see it here, a baby pig. It started out after several calls about a piglet that was darting through streets. Officers and neighbors described the piglet as being, piglet's name is Pickles, as being very fast and strong for an animal of its size. Run, Pickles, run! Police chased Pickles through several blocks before they nabbed him and brought him home to his mother.
I don't know if we have it, but afterwards, Pickles did hold a news conference and says, "Sal, what? I'm kind of a big deal."
Oh, did you write that down? You did write that down. How sad is that?
Did you miss me?
I missed you.
Sal, what?
We gotta go.
What was that, Brett?